Hello game fans! Welcome to another video with Gaming Debugged. Now if you know anything about this channel, you know that I do have a fondness for the retro. So much in fact that I have dedicated entire weeks of content to the 80s and entire weeks of content to the 90s, looking at the games and the classics and all of the consoles that came out in those generations. Now I do love a good retro title, and you will see in my video, I'll probably put it over there, that I did a video called the top 5 90s games that you can play on your Xbox One now. Watch that because it's very good, if I do say so myself. But what I wanted to talk about today was Project Root, and it is a lovely little retro shooter that really reminds me of Axelay on the Super Nintendo meets Desert Strike cross-platform, because it's this kind of top-down shooter where you've got to kind of weave in and out of buildings, go and kill a load of tanks, watch out for the different other aircrafts and stuff, and it is a good little fun retro romp. So without further ado, here is my review of Project Root. Project Root is a top-down shooter set in vast open environments teeming with hundreds of aircrafts, tanks and gun placements to destroy. The whole game pays homage to the Strike series games, and the futuristic spaceship handles more like a helicopter than a jet. OPQAM have done a fantastic job reproducing many retro video game traits of yesteryear. You start with 3 lives, a health bar and a large to-do list of primary and secondary objectives before you can move on. Most missions see you destroying something, whether it's a power generator or a flying fleet of warships, but other missions like escorting a defector do help break up the monotony. The size of the levels are both a blessing and a curse, as they are fun to play and explore, but if you lose your last life only minutes from the end, then you have to start all over again, which can be between 15 or 30 minutes of gameplay. Die more than twice on a level and it becomes extremely frustrating. The silver lining with this difficulty is that you earn XP every time you play, and this can be converted into upgrades. Your ship can be improved in various different ways, from simple speed improvements to additional missile bays. Once upgraded, you can feel the difference and earlier levels become a lot easier. Sadly, the upgrades are limited and you can't actually max out on everything. These upgrades are essential, however, if you are to stand any chance of beating the big boss fights at the end of each level. These boss fights do bring a bit more excitement to the game, and it does get a bit monotonous on the regular levels. But the environments are much smaller and much more claustrophobic, so facing that big boss does feel quite exciting. The story revolves around a dictator, some new form of energy production, and a small team of rebels, which includes you, but this is told over a lot of tiny text boxes and a lot of dialogue to read, which many people, like me, will generally ignore, so don't really expect to be drawn into the narrative too much. Some voiceover work would have been great here, but as with many Kickstarter games, you're massively limited on budget. Overall, Project Root has done a tremendous job tweaking the nipples of nostalgia and taking me back to what games used to be like. It's retro fun for the older gamer and a look back in time for younger players. The lack of checkpoints will annoy some gamers, and those that find it difficult will get frustrated by level 2. But for those willing to put in the time and effort to take on the challenge, the game does get better once your ship is fully upgraded. So maybe you'll get more fun out of it a second time around. After the sale, the game only costs $7.99, making it actually one of the cheapest games on the Xbox Store at present. So the choice is up to you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and I'll be back with another video next week.
Finish him!